I don't even know where to start off with this video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's currently the 3rd week of January. You guys will see this video tonight still. It's currently the 20th of January, so like I said, you guys will see this video tonight. But today we are going to talk about the Polo. I've been quiet for far too long about the Polo, and I feel like I owe you guys an explanation of where the car's at. You would have seen it reappearing on social media over the last week, 2 weeks maybe. I made a promise that I was going to halt all the work for 2020 on the car. It's currently 2021, which means that we can continue working on the car. So let's jump right in and talk about it. Before we start off with the whole update on the Polo, this is the Polo cylinder head. It's currently off the vehicle, and I want to make you guys a deal. If this video gets 100 comments and 500 likes, I'm going to port and flow this head. Otherwise, I'll just fix the damage and put it back on the car. So once again, if it gets 100 comments and 500 likes, we will port and flow this. So if you want to see a ported and flowed head on the Polo, you know what to do, boys. Okay, so let's go way back to right about when I bought the Clio. I can't remember the dates. I'm just going to tell you guys how everything went down. Before I bought the Clio, the car was at Nico's place getting the downpipe done. You guys could remember seeing that. The downpipe was changed and the intake was changed for the new turbo. As I got the car back from Nico, driving it home, the pressure plate basically burst. I don't know how it happened, because when I swapped the motor, I sent the whole clutch kit off to ACT in Joburg, and they basically redid the entire clutch, checked that everything was fine, and about 100-200 k's into it, the pressure plate burst and it knocked a hole in my gearbox. That's where the fun and games started. So before I flew down to Cape Town, I took the gearbox out, I sent the clutch, I got a new pressure plate, I sent all of that into Norbrake at the time, and I sent the gearbox to a guy who did work on the gearbox before, for him to put a new casing on. I sourced the casing from a friend, put the new casing on the box. While we are at it, check the 4th gear synchro, because the box has an issue selecting 4th gear on the car. When I got back from Cape Town, the box was done. I picked up the box, I picked up the clutch, and I put everything back in the car. That's when I realized that everything was not well. This is what it did at that time. So as you can hear from that, it had a massive whining sound to it, almost sounding like a, can I say like a rally car with straight cut gears. It's whining on the gearbox. I took it back out, took it back to them, and apparently one of the bearings was shot. I don't know why I paid for refurb on the gearbox if they didn't fix the bearing. Anyways, took the gearbox back in, fixed the bearing. By this time, the amount of money that I've spent on the gearbox, I could have bought a second-hand gearbox already. But the first time that I sent it in, I wasn't expecting the amount to total up to this much. I sent it in, it cost me $2.5 to get it fixed, to put the new casing on, because basically they did nothing inside. The Polo would still not select 4th gear. So I took the gearbox back to them to replace the bearing, and check out the synchro once again. After a massive fight with them, because I had to pay another, I think it was 2,700 Rand, so by this time it's costing me well over 5,000 Rand, to rebuild my gearbox. Put the box back in the car, put a new crank seal on. There's still no fourth gear. Like, there is fourth gear, but it crunches into fourth, so you need to really select it like twice to get it into fourth. And the car is leaking oil by the sum, by the main seal, by the crank. The last time I put the box in, I put a new crank seal in there, so I'm not sure why it's leaking, but now the box has to come out for a third time within 1 month. I'm fed up of the car. I parked the car off, I got the clues, so I'm now working on a new project. I parked the Polo off. So fast forward 2 months to December, and we have a diner day in Enagang van der Bijl, wherever. We have a diner day, and I wanted to take the Polo to the diner day. Not necessarily to the diner, but just take it there. I had to fix the oil leak. I went to start the car up, nothing. The car's just dead. Like, it'll crank, but it would not fire up. I do a few basic checks, I can't find the issue, and I just leave the car. I get back to working on the clue to finish the clue up so that I can take the clue to the diner day, and once that is finished, I'll check what's the issue on the Polo. I came back from the diner day and I checked out the Polo. I couldn't find the issue. I checked the fuel pump in the tank, I changed the fuel filter in front, I changed the tandem pump because I have a spare tandem pump, I changed that. I changed the injectors, and still there's nothing. The car would not fire up. So I said I'm done for 2020. I'll work on this car in 2021. Fast forward a couple of months to January 2021, and I want to work on the Polo again. I feel excited and energetic, and I really miss my car. I want to work on it again. So I start checking the fuel is going into the tandem pump, coming straight out, so the injectors are not pulsing. I checked the ECU because I think the ECU could have gotten water somehow and fried the ECU. The ECU is perfectly fine. I checked the crank sensor, swapped it out, that was perfectly fine. After that, cam position sensor, swapped it out, mine was perfectly fine. So the only thing basically left is the timing. I checked the timing, put it on its marks on top, check the marks at the bottom. Sure enough, the timing is out. For those of you who don't know, these cars come with a vernier pulley on the cam. I don't have a cam with me to show you, but they come with a vernier pulley on the cam. I suspect somehow the vernier pulley must have loosened itself and adjusted, or while the car was boosting, or something must have happened and the timing went off, and that's why the car would not start. So I set the timing. As soon as I go to crank it, the car fires right up. Like, it never even knows that it was just standing for 3 months giving me grey hair, so many grey hair by the way. It just cranks up, nothing wrong with the vehicle. There we go. Now I still have the leak on the box that I need to sort out. I paid my friends at Lethal Motorsport a visit, home of the world's fastest 6R by the way, for those of you who don't know, they're just down the road from me. Paid them a visit, asked them if they would assist me just to get the box out of the car and back in, all the strip and assembly and all that. It is very difficult for me to do it at home with no equipment, not like equipment, like tools without a lift basically. It's way easier with a lift, and if you're a couple of people taking the box out, those boxes are heavy and you need to maneuver them to get them out. They let me work there. I replaced the crank seal again, brand new crank seal. I replaced it with a brand new one again, sealed it up properly, put everything back together, start the car up, no oil leaks, everything is perfectly fine. That was last week, Thursday the 14th of January. My birthday was the 15th of January. On the 15th, I went out, had a great time with my mates. The car was parked off at home, didn't touch it, nothing. Saturday morning, I come to drive the car, and as soon as I started up, the car was smoking. A bit more than I would like it to smoke. Anyway, take the car for a drive, and it's getting worse, getting worse, getting worse. Up to a point where the car starts misfiring and it's smoking a hell of a lot. Brought the car back home, put the laptop on it, checked the injector values. It's misfiring on cylinder number 2. First thing I'm thinking is another set of injectors gone. This is stock injectors by the way. Another set of injectors gone. So what I do, I open up the valve cover, I swap injector number 2 and 1, I swap them over, fire the car back up, set the injector lashing of course, fire the car back up. At this point, it's still misfiring on cylinder number 2. Which indicates to me that it's not an injector issue, it's something internal. Valve guides, valve stem seals, ring landing, something like that. The motor is pushing oil through That's why it's misfiring, because as soon as I boost it, runs clear. If it's not boosting, it's misfiring and it's not lacquer. Smoking, misfiring, all of that stuff. But my friends at Lethal Motorsport, another visit, and here we are today. I just took the head off this morning. Sure enough, there is some damage to the head. Not damage really, either the valve guides or the valve stem seals is not happy. It's leaking on 2 of the 4 cylinders. That's why it's pushing oil into the combustion chamber, and that's why it's smoking. As soon as I start boosting and the oil burns off, it's running perfectly fine. Once it's idling, pushing oil again. So that brings us here to where we are now. Am I going to fix the damaged valve guides, valve stem seals, whatever, put the head back on, because the head does not need skimming in my opinion. It was perfectly fine, the head gasket held up. So do I fix the damage, or do I make use of the opportunity, send this head in to get it ported and flowed while it's off the car? You decide. Like I mentioned, give me 100 comments, 500 likes. If you want to see this head ported and flowed, I'll do it for you guys. I don't really know. In a 5-10 minute nutshell, that's the history of the Polo from the last video which you saw in 2020 up to this point. I said that I wasn't going to make a video until the car is fine again, which may take a bit longer than I anticipated. This car is giving me one issue after the other. But it feels to me like it's 10 times worse when I'm living my life on the internet. Everyone's having issues with their cars, stock cars break down, but you don't know about it because you don't see it on the internet. That's the way it is. It's what we do, it's the game we play. It's not only me, it happens to everyone. So there's the much anticipated, long overdue update everyone has been waiting for. Now, let's review 2020, check the goals that I had set for myself in 2020 and set some new goals for 2021, and let's go and crush it, boys. We're going to make it big this year, I'm pretty sure, but 2020 was nothing short of amazing. 2021 is going to be outstanding, I'm sure of that. I'm gonna grab my laptop, which is over here, and let's check what we got. So my goals for 2020 with this channel would be to reach 10,000 subscribers, 150,000 video views and 70 videos. So you guys heard my goals. I wanted to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We came short. We reached 9,000, I believe it was 9,100 by the end of December. We about 300 short of 10,000 at the moment. And then 786,000 views. My most viral video was the one of the 2J. That video alone got like 380 something thousand views. So one video exceeded all of the views that I wanted to achieve in 2020. That just goes to show how much I underestimated myself and the growth of this channel. We can do it. My goals for 2020, and I'm going to read them to you because I set the numbers here on my phone. So this is going to be my goals, or for 2021, this is going to be my goals. My goals is going to be 25,000 subscribers. This year, or last year, we went from about 1,000 to 9,000. So we gained 8,000 subscribers. My goal for this year would be to reach 25,000 subscribers. Now that may sound absurd, it's double what we did in 2020, but here's how we are going to achieve that. I want to get 5 viral videos. By viral video, I mean more than 100,000 views on each video. That will help me to get more subscribers and to reach that 25,000 mark. So 5 viral videos for 2021. I want to get a new project car. I want to sell the Clio. The Clio is just here outside the garage. I'll update you guys in a separate video on that car, but I want to sell that car and buy a new project car for the channel. The Clio did fantastic on the channel, but I think it's time to sell that car and move on to something else. I don't know what yet. We'll talk about that once the Clio is sold. My other goal, I actually set this on the 1st of January. My other goal was to get the Polo up and running regardless of the costs involved. That car, you guys know, has been my baby for 11 years. I bought that car in 2009, and the last couple of years has been rough on me financially to keep that car on the road, but I feel like we are so close. And I promise you, over the last 2 weeks, you guys did not see any video footage or anything, but over the last 2 weeks, I've really pushed hard to get that car back on the road. The head is going to be the last thing to get that car back on the road, hopefully. And then my last goal for 2021 is going to be more merchandise. This year, I've been incredibly quiet with the merchandise. I think I did caps once. Did I even? Or was that back in 2019? I don't even think I made any merch for 2020. This whole COVID thing threw us all off, and I still think the channel did great in 2020. So 2021, let's get more drag racing. I actually want to start to go to out of town events like Nizna Hill Climb. Gerrit from Lethal, who's got the fastest eye in the world, he's chasing a 9-second quarter mile. That car will be featured on the channel soon, but I want to be there by his side when he runs a 9, so you guys can get exclusive footage of that first 9-second Golf 6R in the world. I want to be there regardless if he's racing in PE, at Desi, in Cape Town, regardless where. I want to be the guy who's there filming his car. So we are going to cover way more drag events. That's a must. You guys seem to love the drag events. I understand that not everyone is fortunate enough to be in the position that we are in to get to all these events and have fun at them. So you guys do enjoy the drag racing events. My goal would be to cover more of that this year as well. That's going to be it for this video, guys. If you want to see me port and flow that sucker, you know what to do. 100 comments, 500 likes. We can do it. We've done it on multiple videos in the past before. I did not set outrageous numbers. Those numbers are very, very doable for us. Let's go and get it. Share the videos. You guys know what to do. I don't even have to tell you. You know what to do. I'll see you in the next one, bro. Peace out and reflect your passion.